All right. Well, welcome back to another ICM Confidence Cohort. This is session number 5. Its topic is contribution. So, what is it and why or how does contribution help us with our confidence?
Contribution, simple definition is sharing what you've learned to help others grow. And so confidence isn't just always about what we gain, it's also about what we can give and sharing that to contribute to others. As we grow, we begin to overflow.
Ooh,
And
that's
as
good.
we're overflowing, that gets to pour into others. And it's through our, what I say, knowledge, wisdom, encouragement, and presence that overflows and pours out into others. So we talked about competence in the last session. And so when you take competence, which is what you've learned, and
Hmm.
you combine that with contribution, and that's what you share, the result is fulfillment. So when someone is searching for fulfillment, there's it's contribution and growth combined to get fulfillment. So if you're lacking fulfillment, there's a possibility that one of those is lacking or
Hmm.
missing or both is.
Hmm.
And so you want to look at contribution with growth. As you grow, you have more to share and contribute to others. Now, remembering we've talked about this before is um, confidence is not arrogance. They're completely different. And so
Hmm.
arrogance is about tearing others down so you can rise, but confidence is about building up one another. And that's where contribution comes in. We get to
Hmm.
build up one another.
Hmm. You share a verse in here, First Thessalonians 5:11, to make it wrap around, make our work wrap around God's work. Therefore, encourage and build one another up, just as you are already doing. There's a charge from Paul's letter and to the church at Thessalonica to encourage one another, to build up one another. So I had a question. So I took your definition and said, your definition of contribution is sharing what you've learned to help others grow. So, being the AI guy that I am, I took that definition and put it in chat and said, Chat, what's the word for this definition? So, it gave me a list of words. Okay. But you know what? I came back with stewardship.
That's really good.
I thought that's really good. When we are able to learn, we gain knowledge, wisdom, encouragement, even presence, and we give that away. Isn't that just stewarding what God has given us? And we call it contribution, but that's giving away what God has given you and helping others grow. Man, that is so, so good. So great job on putting this together. This is good stuff.
I love that definition, stewardship. And because we hear about contributing and stewardship, and we think about giving,
Yeah.
and sometimes giving it, we always go to money. And
Hmm.
there's so much more beyond money that you have that you can contribute. And stewardship, we sometimes tie that to money as well. But if we look at, in that verse it says, just as you are already doing in
Doing.
First Thessalonians 5:11, it's not just about contributing money or being a steward of money, but it's also of all those other things, our gifts,
Hmm.
our knowledge. There's so much that we can contribute to somebody, and it's not just limited to money. And I think that's what is trying to be said in contribution is it's sharing, right? It's sharing
Right.
what we've learned. So you ever learn something, and I do this all the time when I'm reading the Bible and I'm diving into something
Yeah,
and I'm learning about it, and I'm like, wow, this is so good. And the first thing is I think of is, who can I share this with?
exactly. Yeah.
And then you go and share it with someone, and it's so exciting. There is just so much inspiration in that
Hmm.
fulfillment, right? That's what fulfillment looks like.
Looks
I
like.
learned
Yeah.
this. Who can I share it with? And then you go to them, and it's just as powerful for them. And it's such an impactful moment. And it's
Yeah.
just, there's so many things that we have that we've been designed with that we can do that with, to
Hmm.
share one another, to build up one another, to be good stewards of.
Yeah. That's so good. And this line here, confidence isn't just about what we get or what we gain, but it's also about what we give. And again, that's about stewardship. That's about contributing what we have to others. So, such a good kind of review or understanding or definition of contribution and what's going on. But I have a question. Here's the Scott question today. Okay, I'm going to use this illustration. You're going, that doesn't work. But is it chicken or egg come first? Is it confidence or is it contribution? So if I have this contribution, but I don't have the confidence to share it, can I still share it? Because I'm not sure I have the confidence. I'm smart enough or I feel good enough about what I've learned. I've got a guitar. I'm not really great at it. I don't know if I have the confidence to share what I've been given. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I see what you're saying there, and it's definitely, it happens, right? Just like in the example I gave about you learn something in the Bible and now you want to go share it with someone, and you're getting ready to go do that, and you're like, but I don't know if
Oh,
I got it right or if I'm smart enough to share this. I'm not a biblical scholar.
mm-hmm.
And what I like is all the things that we've talked about prior to talking about contribution that goes with our confidence. So if you're getting ready to contribute something and your confidence is shaken, go back through the other topics we've learned about. Is it getting back to clarity? Do you
Clarity.
need more clarity on something before you share it? Is it get back to competence? Do you need to learn a little bit more about something before you share it? Just and going back through those and seeing if one of those needs something before you do it. And then
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you just got to do it. You
Just
know,
got to do it.
you got to take, courage is not the absence of fear, it's doing it with fear.
Mm,
And
absolutely.
you go ahead and do it, and it may be messy, right? And what did we talk about? Failure's teachable moments. So you're
Mm-hmm.
going to learn. So sometimes it's just simply pushing through that a little bit, take the action and do it and learn from it and keep going. So
Yeah,
sometimes contribution, you don't always feel fully confident doing it, but that's how it also grows confidence, because as you do it, your confidence can grow.
it does grow. Absolutely. And you got some great strategies connected in the next section here on how to contribute and what to contribute. That's important too.
Yeah. So let's start with the first strategy, which is what I call identify your spark, right? So when you think about something, when you learn about something, when you're around certain um, areas and things like that, you feel a spark. Something in you ignites. And this is where you discover where you shine and what you naturally have to offer. We all naturally have something to offer. And sometimes it just takes a moment to dig into that and see what those things are. So first, look at your passions.
Hmm.
What do you get excited about? What keeps you up at night thinking about it? And then your strengths. There's great strengths assessments out there to discover what those are.
Hmm.
One of my favorites is Strength Finders. It's a
Hmm.
book you can go through, and it has an assessment and it tells you about the strengths. So it's all about, you know, um, maximizing on your strengths and minimizing, or not minimizing, sorry, maximizing your strengths and managing your weaknesses. Um,
Weaknesses. Yeah. Yeah.
So, looking at your strengths and then your gift sets, there's gift assessments out there as well, to help you identify what your gifts may be. And then look at what excites you. As you learn more about it, what excites you? There's things that we learn because we have to, and there's things that we learn because we enjoy it.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
excites you? And then where do you feel energized or purposeful? So when you're doing something, when you're out somewhere, where do you feel more energized? Where do you feel more purposeful? Like, I can contribute here.
Hmm.
And then where do you naturally add value? It just comes
Yeah.
natural to you. Or people come to you naturally about a certain thing, and you
Hmm.
just speak naturally about it. That helps when we're not feeling as confident. When we do something that's more natural to us, we're gonna be more confident with it.
Confident in that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, coaching question for you. Hey, where do you, Danelle, feel most naturally your capacity to naturally add value to some relationship or someone,
Yeah, so this is something you have to really dig into as a coach yourself, right?
right?
Um, and going through this journey for myself, it didn't happen overnight. And so I want to encourage people, this you're not always going to get your answer overnight in this, but spend time in it. Set with it, journal it. It does take time to get that clarity on it. And get with someone to help you discover it, to talk about, of course, you know, a coach like me or another coach you may know, or Scott,
Hmm.
for men, um, definitely are helpful in helping you discover those things. So for me, what I discovered was I always gravitate toward naturally towards people helpers. I love people with a helping heart. And I love being a part of helping people through encouragement, through teaching, through empowerment. I love being a part of teams that are helping people and helping the teams that are helping people. So for
Yeah.
me, to really narrow down on it, I love pouring into people who have people helping hearts, because because I'm one of
Okay.
those people sacrifice themselves in order to help people because of their
Others.
hearts. And so, what I love is pouring back into those people, filling their cups up so they can continue to do what they're doing. And that's either through coaching, through teaching, through encouragement. I'm always going to be there where a people helper is, encouraging them so they can continue their ripple effects.
That's great. That's great. As well, same. I love coaching guys who not only, I love coaching guys who have impact down the line. You know, anybody that can take what they learn and then share it with the next group of people behind them. So it gets multiplied. Even, and I have no idea what's happening behind the scenes with that, but I love coaching guys who can do that, whether it's within their own home and their family unit or on the field as a coach. As a sports coach, we see things happening like that. So I'm the same. Love having guys who I can have impact with that have impact on others. So, yeah,
And I bet, just as I am, you love learning about how to help people.
yeah, absolutely. I mean that. Yes, that's a pastor's heart, right? You want to help
Right.
people. Yeah, it's just kind of naturally flows out. So yeah, that's exactly right. Yep, I do.
And I think that's what I love about the Bible is it's about helping people.
Hmm.
When you dive into it, you can learn about how to help people. You learn about helping yourself,
Right.
and then how to help people as well with that. But I love a good personal development book.
Yeah.
um
Always.
Anything that you can learn it and you can try it and you can see the results.
Yep. I mean that goes back to our verse, First Thessalonians 5:11, right? Encourage and build up one another just as you are already doing. I mean that's our role, and that's where we naturally have a tendency to fit in as the Spirit moves and gives us the ability and the gift to and the fruit of what we're doing. That's that verse right there. So good. So I've got some of that. Now, how do I increase our capacity?
So strategy number two is increasing your capacity. So this goes back to growth. Growth expands your ability to give. So this is why competence comes before contribution, is
Mhm.
so you can learn and grow, so you can expand that ability to give. So, develop new skills. Is there something new you've been wanting to learn about that's been on your heart? Maybe check into that. There may be something there with that. Study topics that interest you. I love studying certain topics, and I can dive into those and probably overthink them at times, but you know, it's a lot easier to study something that you're interested in than study something that you're not, right? We've all been through
Absolutely. Yeah.
school and like, oh, I just have to do this because it's important. But when you really got to dive into something that was of interest to you, you really enjoyed it. It became more than growing. And then stay curious and keep exploring. So coming back to that curiosity, keep your
Mm-hmm.
open mind with curiosity, keep exploring.
Yeah.
Um, you know, don't get into a fixed mindset, get into an open mindset.
Yeah.
And then practice new things. Sometimes you don't know what interests you or what your strength is or what your gifts are until you try something new. And if you try something new, you learn two things. You learn either that's not for me or wow, something's there that I
Yes,
can
exactly.
grow in.
Yeah.
So practice new things, try new things. Um, and then you gain clarity on that too, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
And the
Well, I just think
last
it
one,
opens up a whole thing. Keep going. Last one.
ask for feedback. Get your
Yeah.
feedback from people. We don't always like doing that. I don't always like doing that if I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Ask for feedback because that's where you learn and grow. Sometimes somebody sees something in you that you haven't seen in yourself yet. And so you have to get that feedback to help identifying those things or to see where something may need to be enhanced or developed more.
Hmm.
Uh, so you can contribute, so you can increase that capacity. So Scott, the
Yes.
the the big thing to remember is the more you grow, the deeper your well is to draw from when giving back, to share with others.
Hmm. I agree. So I think the deeper that well is, I think the more competent you are and more confident you are to share what you know and what you've learned and what God has shown you. So I think that deep well is pretty awesome. But don't wait till the well's so deep. You're like, oh no, it needs to be deeper. I can't share now. I can't share. I can't share. Man, I would say just take a leap of faith past that fear that's blocking you from sharing it and share just with someone who loves you, that's not going to beat you up for sharing, and share and build that contribution gift up so that you build your confidence up as well. So, yeah, there's some great stuff out there to share. I mean, just like you said, the scripture, practice new things. So, I'm thinking one of the crazy phases right now that's going on right now is pickleball. Everybody plays pickleball. I don't play pickleball, but everybody's doing it. Some people love it. Other people, I think they turn their pickleball paddles right back in and say, no, it's not for me. But I mean, it's out there. I mean, it's something new. And who would have known, 2 or 3 years ago? And now they're popping up everywhere. So, try something new. Don't be afraid. There you go.
Scott, I got a question for you.
Come on. Yes.
What is something new you tried that surprised you?
Okay. Thank you. Because I knew you were going to ask. So I did my homework. So here's something new I'm doing. Okay. Can I give you two? One quick one. My wife and I cook together in the kitchen. So we're always trying new and different recipes. So we have fun doing that. And very seldom have we failed at trying something new. So that's one. The more personal one, what I'm trying right now, okay. I have an end goal at the end of the year. I have a big goal at the end of the year to walk 20 miles. I have a 20-mile hike I want to go on. So I did a 10-mile hike in practice and preparation for this last week. That's a long ways.
That is a long way.
It was a long ways. So about mile 8, I'm going, oh man, this is nuts. So I'd read enough and done my homework to know that about 80% in, your last 20% is going to be the hardest part because your mind, your body,
Um,
everything starts to play tricks on you and it becomes a mind game. So I was able to obviously finish, but you know, that's something new. I've never walked 10 miles before. And now to think I have a goal of 20, which is going to be, it's going to be a challenge for a guy like me. But I'm trying something new. So that's the newest thing I'm working on right now. So there you go.
all right.
That's the newness though of it, and enjoying something completely new. And we'll see where it goes.
And it's neat what you get to discover along the way that you may not have discovered if you didn't do
Have
it.
If you don't do it, you don't have. Yeah, it's a new, absolutely a new thing and a new phase, and I am learning a lot. I need new shoes.
So
I need new
you
shoes.
learn this, you're learning something new. Now, strategy 3, you get to share what you've learned. So
Absolutely.
contribution means passing it on.
On.
Um, we don't want to just hold these things for ourselves. There's someone out there who's waiting to learn from you.
Yeah.
Um, one thing I also heard is you could be an answer to someone's prayer that they're looking for
Hmm.
when you contribute. So,
Absolutely.
how do we share what we've learned? One way is encourage someone by sharing what you learned.
Hmm.
Um, just the encouragement from it. So now that you've walked this, now that you know what your mind can do to you, when someone else is going on that journey, you know how to encourage them from what you've
Hmm.
learned through it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And there's something special about when someone encourages you that's been there. It's a
Yes,
different type of encouragement, and
it
you know
is.
it when you hear it.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. A little bit deeper. I mean, gosh, it's much deeper than my walk. But we have some friends. My wife's been through cancer, has been healed, and is walking, is healthy right now. But we have some friends who just found out about a month ago that they're walking through a similar situation, and they called us because they knew we've been in it. There's a lot of people around them, but they called us and said, we want to talk because we know that you have experienced this. So you can speak based off of the experience. So, yes, what you have been through is always something that hopefully you can share and help
Because you get
others.
it.
Exactly. You get it. You know what it feels like. Yes. You know what it feels like when the doctor says this is your diagnosis and you're like, "What?" Yeah, you know what that feels like. So, yeah, you can, and my wife can, communicate what it felt like to her, but I also feel like I can communicate what it felt like to me to be her spouse and to hear that. Now, what do I do? You know, so yeah, I wouldn't have been
And
able to
you
do it.
know now the type of encouragement that really does encourage the heart the most in those
Exactly.
moments.
Exactly. Hmm. Yep.
And then another way is mentor someone who's a few steps behind you.
Love that.
I've done this. I've had mentors in my life. Um, when I was in ministry and I was a children's pastor, I had a child development background, but I did not have a church background. And I was hired onto this position based on my child development background, but now I had to figure out how to run a ministry. And I reached out to someone that I knew who was doing it well and asked them to mentor me and to help me learn how to do it well. And she was definitely gracious enough to do that. And so we met frequently, and she mentored me and she helped me get from point A to point B in the ministries and what that those steps look like. She held me accountable to those. She helped me find resources.
Hmm.
She encouraged me through that as well. And I could trust her as a source because success leaves clues. And I could see the ministry she was a part of, how it was successful. And so we maintained that for years. We maintained that relationship for years. And even when I stepped out and transitioned into full-time coaching, she is still a mentor of mine. That what
Hmm.
that looks like is a little different these days, but
Hmm.
she still has became that mentor. And I prayed and I asked, and I even asked God, what is it that I'm looking for in a mentor for this ministry? And
Hmm.
then was led to her. So mentors is a very special relationship, and if you can mentor someone, that's great. Or if you need a mentor, ask God, what is that? What kind of mentor do I need in my life?
Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be ministry. It could be business. It could be parenting. It could be being a husband, being a wife. Just having that other person walk alongside of you to help and ask questions and go, what do I do if this happens? So they're invaluable. I've got a mentor as well. So absolutely. Yeah.
And the difference between a mentor and a coach is going to help you reach objectives. A mentor is someone who's been where you're trying to go
Hmm.
and gives you advice based on experience and wisdom.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, and then partner or collaborate with others to create something meaningful.
Yeah.
So similar to what Scott and I are doing with Competence Cohort, we're collaborating, we're partnered
Hmm.
together to share about confidence with each of you. And so, is there something that you can be a part of that you can partner with to create and share with others? Scott, is there anything else that you collaborate with or partner with?
Yes, we collaborate a lot in different areas, but I mean, one of the things that I do is one of the ministries here in town. I am part of that and work with a large group of volunteers to help continue to move that ministry forward, to continue to help reach the participants that are in that area, in our area, in the zone that we help. And it's amazing. I get to walk beside other volunteers who are coming in and doing amazing things. And we're seeing, and we work together to watch the mission of the ministry just continue to execute, and get better. And so it's pretty, pretty amazing to get to do that with others. Yeah,
It's so fun.
it is. It's fun to watch. And yes, and gosh, this ministry happens to be 20 plus years old. So it's been doing a lot of things for a long time, but to kind of watch it just really kind of go to the next level. And man, it's fun. It's hard work sometimes, but it's fun.
The other thing that's really neat about when you collaborate or partner with someone is you also learn as well. Because
Yeah.
I learned from you, Scott, in so many ways in doing these, because you bring different experience, different perspective, different things you've learned, and I have those that I contribute, and now we bring that together to
Together.
make it even greater. Um,
Yes.
so you don't always have to contribute with all the answers. Um, you
Hmm.
you get to learn more answers when you contribute.
Yeah. Well, yes, and you build one another up.
Right.
You look across the table I mean, just a picture, you get to look across the table and go, golly, that's good, and I want to not only listen to you talk about that, but I want to take that in and just help me. So it's just so good to be in a room with people, be in a Zoom, be in a gallery, setting where you have this contribution, this team working on something, and it's moving towards something that's so much bigger than you could have ever done by yourself.
Yeah, it's the iron sharpens iron, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, good stuff.
So when you're thinking about sharing what you've learned in some way, um, think about what I call the zone of contribution. So identify your zone of contribution where you feel most lit up when helping others, when contributing to others. Um, we're not called to contribute everywhere,
Yeah.
uh, but there is a place for us. There is a zone for us. So identify what that is for you through these strategies,
Hmm.
to see where you are being led to contribute to. Uh, I
Yeah.
had a client one time who was struggling with everybody kept telling him he should serve in certain areas of the church. And he said, I just don't know that I'm meant to contribute in those areas. And he was wrestling with the guilt of that, of, well,
Mm-hmm.
it's church, I should contribute, right?
Hmm.
Well, when he worked through identifying his zone of contribution, he realized that he was actually meant to contribute through churches and prisons,
Mm. Wow.
and going there. And so if he would have said yes to where he wasn't feeling led to, he may have missed that opportunity to contribute where he was being called to.
Wow.
Um, so, take time, sit down and look at what is your zone of contribution, because where you're being led to is where you're going to have the most impact.
Great. And it's going to be fulfilling and
Yes.
energizing. And it's going to be so much more fun and easier when you do that, as opposed to being, I heard this said the other day, a penguin in the desert just doesn't function well. You don't want to be the penguin in the desert. You want to be the penguin in your home, in the Antarctic, in the snow, and in the cold. That's where the penguin does its best work. So, yes, so much better. And I think today's vernacular, they would say, find the right seat on the bus, right?
Yeah.
Be on the right
Yeah.
bus and then find the right seat on the bus. So, there you go.
I've definitely been on the wrong seat at times. And that's when you start to feel a wrestle inside of
Hmm.
yourself, and it doesn't leave, and then it actually kinda gets messy or
Hmm.
messier,
Hmm.
and then you're,
Yes.
like, wondering, "What am I doing wrong?" Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so, taking that time, look at your strengths, look at your gifts, look
Hmm.
at, your passions, and see what is that zone,
Yeah. That's
that seat
energy.
on the bus.
That seat on the bus. It's energy as well. It either energizes you or it drains you. If it starts to
Yes.
drain you, you need to really kind of reconsider what's going on. But man, you'll know it energizes you when you're in the right seat. Yeah.
Yes. And it doesn't mean like it when we're pursuing something that is the right seat, sometimes it gets hard, right? And
Oh yeah.
there is discouragement, there is some things and it's hard, but there's still a passion and energy that is driving you through those things. But when it is sucking you dry, when
Hmm.
it's becoming a dread, um, then that's
Yeah.
time. Those are indicators to look at. Am I on the right seat?
Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. The dread.
Okay. Let me ask you one more question.
Okay. Let's go.
How has your contribution built someone else up? How have you seen that?
Um, okay. Best example I have that comes to my mind. So I coach guys, right? That's my niche. I coach a lot of men. The best, I guess, contribution I made to one of my clients, okay? The best result of that was his spouse coming to me and going, "Thank you."
Oh,
That was the best. I mean, that's a win. And I just did my thing. God did the work. I just happened to be the vessel that God was using. But for this guy to grow and to do what he was doing, and his spouse come to me and say thank you, that's the best, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's the
So that
best.
that ripple effect was way beyond you.
Oh yeah, way beyond me. Yeah, and even the results are way beyond me. What God did in this guy, but yeah, that's the best. Hmm.
That's awesome.
That's God. Yeah,
All right, Scott. Well, those are the strategies. So
awesome.
what is a final thought or encouragement you have for
Mm.
us today?
All right, let's wrap this up with an encouragement. Think about three things. I'm going to ask you three things, and they're in your workbook. What are you currently learning? Okay. What topic or skill do others ask you about? They come to you and go, hey, can you help me with this? And then where can you contribute to someone else this week? Okay. So don't just think about it. What are you learning? What are you learning that can benefit somebody else? What skill or topic are people asking you about? And then finally, where can you or who can you contribute to this week? So here's the step. You can think about all those things, but take action, okay? Take an action with one of those three questions before the next video comes out, okay? So watch the video. I'm glad you're watching. Now, don't forget, also, after you watch the video, you can book a one-on-one coaching sessions through ICM, so you can do that as well. And then get ready for our next session, which is on what? Janelle?
Celebration.
Celebration. We're going to celebrate in the next section. So, all right. So take this contribution, figure out where and with who you can contribute. Have a great week. We enjoyed the session. Thank you so much.